Hey guys, Zinja here, and today I'm gonna be giving you some tips and tricks on playing the new game mode added to Black Ops 3, Fracture. The objective of this game mode is to collect files from fallen enemies and deposit them in the Fracture location. The Fracture location keeps changing randomly, unlike Hardpoint, where there is a fixed rotation. You can hold up to 10 files at one time. You will need to deposit them if you want to collect more. This game mode is like a combination of kill confirmed and hardpoint. The first tip is not to rush to the fracture point. If you have some files with you, it can be very frustrating to be just inches away from the fracture location when you have 10 files and die. Make sure your enemies are at a distance and safely deposit them. Rushing mindlessly without scanning the area will get you easily killed before you can get to the fracture point. The second tip is to wait for a few seconds on the fracture point if you have more than one file. You need to stand and wait on the fracture point till you deposit all the files. It doesn't deposit all of them at once. You will hear a sound for each file being deposited. Leading back to my first tip is why you should be sure you're clear of any enemies around. Third tip is to run the hardened sentry. It really helps out defending the fracture point by not allowing enemies to deposit files and helps you safely deposit your own files. The hardened sentry is fairly easy to earn as well due to the tons of score you get when you pick up and drop files at the fracture point. The fourth tip is to know where your enemies are spawning. This seems like a general tip, but is very useful nonetheless. Knowing your enemy spawns will help you decide whether or not you should deposit your files. If the enemies are continuously spawning close to the fracture point, it's best to stay back and wait for the location to change. Or if they're spawning far away from the fracture point, it's safe for you to go and deposit those files. The fifth tip is to flank your enemies. Especially in this game mode, enemies will travel in packs since everyone wants to get to one location. So if you get the jump on them, you'll get a lot of kills and files in the process, leading to your streaks. This also leads to some great multi-kills if you know the routes your enemies take. And those are the 5 tips to help you get better at Fracture. This game mode is amazing for XP and will help you level up very fast. Killing one enemy gives you 125 XP considering you deposited the file and that the enemy wasn't carrying any files. You get 75 XP more for each file the enemy was carrying. Killing an enemy gives you 50 XP, picking up one file gives you 25 XP and depositing one file gives you 50 XP. So you will easily rack up a lot of XP via collecting and depositing many files. So those were the 5 tips and tricks for the new game mode Fracture. This has been Zinja. Thanks for watching and goodbye.